Thank you for your interest in this monthly and annual spending tracker. I set this up so that we can have an easy way of knowing what our spending habits are, whether we are clicking or tapping or swiping. And so this tutorial is going to give you a little bit of a teaser of what the product is all about. I'll show you the features and I'll show you a bit of how the guide is and what you will get out of this product. Stay tuned. When you receive your product, you're going to have the instruction manual included as a PDF. However, I also included it here on the front tab. You have your categories and subcategories here. We'll come back to it. You're able to plan for the future by budgeting. And if you don't know what to do, you can estimate, or you can leave it blank, but I'd rather you try. Of course, we're going to have our dashboard, which I'll go ahead and show you parts of the dashboard now. You're going to be able to choose what months you're reviewing. You get the overhead view of how much you're bringing in, how much you're saving, how much you're spending, and then what is the net, which at this point, we are spending more money than we are making. So that's a no bueno. You want to look at, or you can, and you will see your top sources of income. There's a top 3 there. You see your top sources of spending, and then you can see the overall trend of your income versus spending. And then you can also do your income, savings, spending comparisons by month. You also have your 14 categories here, where you are seeing how much of your spending is coming from that category. So you have that percentage. So this is 18% goes into auto. This average spending here per month is, if this is how much you're going to spend for the whole year, and that's based on whatever months you've selected, this is how much it would average out a month. All right, so this is where the tracker can actually help you figure out what your budget should be for upcoming years, okay? You also have your total spending for that month, and then there's going to be your 3 top subcategories for each. If you don't have anything in it, kind of like miscellaneous and travel, you're not going to have any numbers in there, of course. On our monthly tabs, I'll show you starting here. So this is what it looks like whenever you get it. It's going to be absolutely blank, but I think March. So if we have numbers in here, there, it's going to look more like this, where you're going to have your budget set up. And then on the analysis tab, this is where the magic happens. Okay, so theoretically, you're not theoretically, practically, you're also not going to really be doing much here. You can look but not touch, but this is where the magic happens. And then you have the PDF printout for those of us who like to write things out, but here is another copy of that. So let's go back up to the top, to the categories. So once you have this all set up, we're going to go into the budgets. And again, I want you to at least try, okay? When you come into the budget, you're going to see that the dates are not filled in, even though whenever we're looking at the months, I don't know if you noticed, it said 2026 because I have to put something there. So if we're not in the year 2026 when you start this, I'll show you how to fix it. So whenever you're in the budget, you want to edit for the changes we made on the categories tab. I want you to note that whenever you are doing your budgeting, the year calculations are going to populate automatically, as will the columns for each of the months, okay? And while you're getting your year-to-date and your monthly totals, you're also seeing how much of your expected income you've actually allocated into all your spending categories. And so here at the top, whenever we haven't put anything in, you're going to see your month and the numbers in gray. Whenever you've started allocating money, you're going to see the black numbers, okay? And ideally, we want to have green here for the month and a 0 for the amount to be allocated. So when you don't, that means there's money to be spent. So let's see, we're gonna pay 25 to Netflix, right? We're gonna keep that there. And so as you can see, just by saying that I'm gonna pay it out for this first 5 months, now April is over budget. So we're $25 over budget. So that means we need to change something. So maybe that month, whatever your music subscription is, you can alter it, because we definitely can't get rid of that. Or maybe you can alter how much you spent in coffee, okay? If you have repeated numbers, I hope you noticed what I did. You just want to take that cell of interest and then just drag it across to whatever months you want it to be in. Okay. And if you want to go down, you can also do that. Okay. So if you had multiple, so for instance, yeah, if you have multiple, I'm going to override in the home here and you want that to go across, you can just do that. Okay? So you don't have to do those individually. I want to ask you if you have any questions if you do, just put it in the comments. Okay, so once you have your budget set up, we're going to go into the monthly tabs. So in January, I already have some numbers in. Let me actually go back to September. So again, you're going to see them absolutely blank. Oh no, I put numbers in. So it's going to be absolutely blank, all right, whenever you come in. But once you start putting numbers in for your budgets, you're going to see them populate. But also what we will have is the transactions table here on the side. So for those of you who are interested, you can go ahead and put the date in there. So I use the 3-letter code for those of us who are on different sides of the hemisphere to all understand what dates we are writing. Okay, whether you write your day first or your month first. Anyway, you can write your date. You can write and choose what type. So you want to make sure that income, where's income? So you want to make sure income is going with income. You want to make sure that savings goes with savings. And of course, your spending can go with any of the other categories. The red that you see here is showing that we have something chosen for a category that does not align. And this is another reason why you want to make sure you do all your setup at the beginning, okay? We will edit those in just a second. Your debit column is going to be the money that you spend or money that is taken out of your income. And then your credit column is going to be money that you have earned or money that is put into your income. So if it's income, it's going to be the dark green. If it's a credit, it's going to be the lighter green. Okay. And that'll be a credit on spending. If it's from your savings that you're crediting, that's not going to change. I'll show you that in a second. And then, not a second, I'll show you later. And then in this column, we're able to make any notes as needed. For instance, we're using our credit card. Okay. You don't touch the amounts column. That's not for you. Okay. But I want you to know that there's a discrepancy between savings here at the top of our total versus savings in the category. And this is to better showcase what I meant by you want to make sure that your things match up. So this input right here is categorized as savings. So the types category at the top acknowledges that. However, this one does not match. So I'm going to change it. Yes, we want to do gifts, but it's going to be savings. And let's put that in our Christmas gifts. I will be back to address this for those of you who like to do sync-in funds of how to properly keep track of that so that we make sure, even though it was going to savings initially, we put it in the appropriate column when the time comes. Now, if you have your transactions and these 80-something rows are not sufficient, my apologies, I already did it here. So let me show you. You're going to really get them matching, right? You want to make sure you highlight the entire row or section for the transactions log. It doesn't have to be multiple. It can just be a singular row that you highlighted. And then you want to drag it down. Okay, so drag down as much as you need. And what that does is it keeps the formatting. So now you're able to come in and see the same, setup as you have for the rows above it. If you have multiple transactions, you don't have to put them in on different days. Or sorry, on different lines. You can put them all in at the same time by using the equal sign and then saying that you're doing a 250 and then a 350, okay? And then here you're gonna say, paid both vendors, yeah, whatever they're called. So you can, again, write the notes for yourself, and that would also help you out. Because whenever you come in, for those of you who are interested in this, when we did this, you can come to your view tab, and then in your formulas, you'll be able to see that as well. Okay, so if you're interested, that will help you see what numbers you're putting into your different cells. Hold on. Did I change this? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard before we move on. So remember we had that discrepancy of our savings. So that didn't change automatically. So let me refresh, and now you can see that they go together. Okay. So we've done all the extra stuff. Now let's see whenever we start having multiple months come in. Let me show you how we're going to navigate whenever we have credit card payments. Now, the same holds true for those of us that are going to be doing sinking funds. So whenever you are either using your money envelopes or using a different savings account, and last thing is for those of us that want to change our currency. One last thing that I want to show you is here on the analysis tab, because I also get curious about this, I figured some of you might too. I have the spending and income per the months, and you can see the subcategories all side by side, depending on what slicer you have set up. So for instance, if it's just March that you have selected there, it's also going to be reflected. All right, so these are all connected whenever you're looking at your overall numbers and how they are changing. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I hope this has piqued your interest about the spending tracker and makes you want to have it, in which case head over to the Etsy shop and buy the spending tracker. When you're done, let your friends and family know how good it is so that they can also purchase it. Thank you.